Hey, folks, we are here in New York City for the opening of the Jackie Robinson Museum. This has been something that his family and the foundation, they have been wanting to do for a number of years. Y'all remember, we were here for the groundbreaking. We covered that when I was on TV One. COVID hit. It got delayed. But this week, they are opening the museum. It is a fantastic space. Tonight, they have a sneak preview for their donors and board members and invited guests. One of those folks is baseball aficionado, Mr. New York himself, Spike Lee. So he was in the reception. I said, Spike, I'm doing my show live. I said, you want to step back? He said, when? I was like, well, going live now. We can do it now. Let's go. So he up the top. What's up, man?
What's up, baby?
All good, Doc.
It's always good to see you.
Indeed, man. Good to see you.
Congratulations. You're doing your thing, man.
Man, I appreciate it.
And like, you're putting your money behind it too. So that's. Do your thing, man.
Hey, man, it's going great. So we were sitting here talking, and so Spike said, he said, so you can be the ribbon cutting tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, we covered it live.
Yeah, you here.
And then we'll be live tomorrow night from the gala.
The gala.
We'll be live from the block party on Wednesday. Woo. That's what happens when you own. You don't have to ask anybody for permission, which you know very well.
Well, I know that it's you someplace they tell you can't bring your camera, you ain't go. I know that.
That's happened. That's happened. But the camera got in. Thank goodness for the cinematic on the iPhone.
Woo. I just want again. I know I sound like a broken record, but you're doing your thing. You've been doing it, and continue to do because we need you.
Man, I appreciate
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it. And you spread the word. You know, you're not just putting stuff in your back pocket. You're like, boom, check this out.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
Well, that's only for you, but I can't talk about some other people.
Well, you know, hey, I can only speak for me.
There you go.
Only speak for me.
And I appreciate you for doing
that.
Man,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And also, I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
You've been putting the work in for years. This I know, Johnny, come... Soul Train. Now you've been here.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna be here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's it.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, we had your wife on, a week ago for a documentary. So glad to see the things that she's doing.
It's blowing up, too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Of course, and I was last year in New York for your Kaepernick documentary. I appreciate you calling me, including me on that.
You were laying down the knowledge, wisdom. Some science to back that up.
You know, you asked me a question, I'm going to answer it. They may not like the answer.
That's why I need you in this. I need you in this.
Well, that was it there. Man, let's talk about
number 42.
This brother here. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to a couple of my guys before. So they have a statue out there of him in his football uniform. Mm-hmm. And so Anthony,
UCLA.
He goes, who's that? I'm like, dude, Jackie Robinson. I said, baseball was his weakest sport. He was a greater football player, track player than he was baseball. Yeah. That's how bad this brother was.
Bad brother. Bad brother. And people, a lot of people, not a lot of people, we still don't fully understand. Jackie, along with Branch Rickey, changed America. And people understand that Jackie was 53 years old when he died.
Yep.
I mean, if you see him his hair...
I'm 53.
Well, you're good. But
to your point.
Yeah. His hair was white as snow. And those years where he made that deal with Branch Rickey that he had to keep it in, no matter how many times they spiked him, no pun intended, through his head, the insults, the death threats, and when you have to keep that in.
Doc, that's
it. But think about it. He sacrificed his life because he knew the first time
it was over. He knew.
The first time he retaliated, that would have been it.
And the thing that people don't understand, and I really wish TNT would reissue the movie. Andre Braugher played him in the court martial of Jackie Robinson. Mm-hmm. I cannot find that thing on DVD. Maybe there's a VHS copy. Mm-hmm. And what people don't understand, Jackie Robinson didn't take no stuff off of people. This was not a weak, meek brother.
And that was That was before Rosa Parks.
It was in Texas.
Yeah.
They said, we're going to court-martial you. He said, let's go to trial. And he risked getting a dishonorable discharge because he said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm not sitting in the back of the bus. He said, not wearing this uniform. And so you take that defiance and what he did in baseball to hold that in, because that was not his natural instinct.
I read that Rachel said that when Jackie would come home, to blow off steam, he'd get a bucket of golf balls. They were white. And just whack. The biggest thing he can get. But he sacrificed. He was 53. I'm 65.
53. Diabetes.
You're 53. I'm 65.
Yeah, diabetes racked his body. All of that. And that's the thing. And I tell people all the time, when we talk about the Kaepernick documentary, I love when all these people were talking about how dare he kneel, and they would bring up black soldiers. I said, y'all clearly didn't read Jackie's book. Mm-hmm. He said in his book, he said, I will not salute that flag and stand for that song.
Yeah. Because
of what he had to endure. And this was what was amazing, why his book was called Never Had It Made. He said, because if there is one black person who is not free, none of us are free.
Yep, he was a saint. We could say that. Jackie's a saint. And so, people in Brooklyn, the People's Republic of Brooklyn, New York, we have so much love. Jackie played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then you got Campanella, Don Newcomb, Joe Black, Jim Good.
Well, see, I want to pick up on that because I've talked about this in many of my speeches. We rightfully celebrate Jackie Robinson, but I keep trying to explain to people, it was only called the major leagues because white folks had the money.
Right.
The major league talent was in the Negro leagues.
My daughter's named after Satchel Paige.
Really?
Yeah, her name is Satchel.
Okay. That's where the talent was.
But here's another thing, though, is that, and there's a lot of correlation between Joe Louis. When Joe Louis was fighting, black folks were on that radio. And the same thing with Jackie. Even if you weren't a Brooklyn Dodger fan, they would listen to the game and they would say, how did Jackie do?
Right.
Because we knew the entire race. Can you imagine that? Where the entire race is on your shoulders, and if you don't come through, that's going to put us back 10, 20 years.
Right.
Just that pressure alone could take years off your life.
And for people who don't quite understand, Dr. King talked about this when people would question him about Sidney Poitier, Diane Carroll, and he would say, no. I don't need them at the march because they are serving a purpose of what they're doing on the small screen and the big screen.
But also, don't leave for Harry Belafonte.
Right. But he was.
But you didn't include Belafonte.
But it was with the criticism, because they would say, well, we see Harry, we see Dick. Why are we seeing them? And he would go, no, hold up. They're serving a purpose in the roles that they're playing, but they also didn't realize the fundraisers they were having at their apartments for the movement.
But also,
and Jackie was a huge fundraiser for the movement.
Listen to this, though. You can't leave out Paul Newman.
James Garner.
Peter Lawford.
What's my man who's the
Peter
singer?
Lawford.
Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Harry Belafonte said.
Marlon Brando.
Yep.
So, it was Harry Belafonte. And Sidney that was bringing the progressive white Hollywood. Right.
Diane Carroll was holding fundraisers at her apartments in New York.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson, again, if people you haven't read his book, the fundraising that he did for the NAACP. He traveled around the country, and he didn't hold his tongue because he did not have a lot of good things to say about Roy Wilkins, who ran the NAACP. And again, this was a brother who was willing to criticize black folks, willing to criticize white folks. His whole deal was going after the liberation of black people.
But I have to bring this up. He did feel very apologetic for one person to criticize.
Paul
Robeson. He testified before the Un-American Act, and that.
Now here's what's interesting. I had Della on my show. Della, who runs Foundation. Mm-hmm. and that came up. And in fact, someone is working on a documentary about that hearing. Mm-hmm. And what she said to me was, she said, if people go back and actually look at the testimony, he spent a small amount of time on Robeson. But even that,
it wasn't small enough that he
right.
He said that's one he could take back.
Yep.
So it couldn't be that small.
Yep.
But that, for me, it's so. I mean, you know this. Booker T, Du Bois. We get to these things where it's like.
Well, you went through that. You went through it.
Leave me out of this.
No, you went through it, but y'all sat down.
No, I tell you the story.
You and Tyler.
I called him up. I said, I'm gonna get on the plane. I said, I need to come down there. I'm gonna get on the plane. He said, Spike, come down. Gave me the tour of the mansion. The first one. Not the newest one.
Yeah, not the new one.
And later on, when he named one of the stages for me.
Yep.
But I saw that it was getting out of hand. It was like Spikes from the north, but I was born in Atlanta. I went to Morehouse. My father went to Morehouse. My grandpa went to Morehouse. My mother and grandmother went to Spelman. So I got Southern roots, you know. But it was great that town. We squashed that.
Right.
We squashed it.
No, he told me.
Yeah, it was squashed.
But see, that's why when I interviewed Matty Rich.
What'd you say?
When I interviewed Matty Rich.
Yeah.
And we was sitting there, and I was like, y'all hadn't talked? And he told me, I was like, and I was glad you answered. Mm-hmm. And because I was just, again, that's one of those things that my whole deal is, hey, I know him, I know you, and, you know, and his people hit me. He said, he got all the information. They haven't connected yet. I said, but that's the thing. That's where two men, two brothers, let's sit down and chop this thing up.
Chop it up.
And that's what's important. That's what's important.
Yeah.
When you think about this museum, and when people come through I think what's going to be so awesome, they're going to realize this man was way more than a baseball player.
Chocolate nuts.
See, for somebody watching, they're like, what is Spike talking about nuts?
It's a coffee company. Came out of New York, and Jackie, he was thinking about, he knew he was not going to play baseball forever. And he was like a 28-year-old rookie. So he was seeing beyond.
Yep.
He knew it was more than. Then he got, what bank did he get involved
in?
In
Harlem.
Yeah.
Yep, Black Bank.
Yeah, Black Bank. So he was a visionary.
That's where I hope people, when we think about athletes, that we look at them not just through the prism of when they play, that there are things that they do that go way beyond that. Same thing, whether we're talking about actors, whether we're talking about, Sam Jackson isn't just an actor. Denzel isn't just an actor. I mean, there are things that they're more than that, and it forces people to learn.
Where did Sam Jackson go to college? That house.
He went to Morehouse. Okay, he went to Morehouse. All right.
Come on, man.
I know you got a rep.
We're on a black thing right now, man. Come on, we're in the Jackie Robinson Museum. We're not a black thing right here.
Right, but he went to UCLA.
But I'm saying. Wait. Was Jackie friends with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Yeah, he was.
Where did he go to school?
Went to Boston University.
Undergrad. The house.
See?
For the black thing, baby.
He went to the house. He went to the house. He went to the house.
And also, Marty and I, Martin Luther King III, were classmates.
Okay.
Class 79. And my father was a freshman. Dr. King was a senior.
Did they cross paths when he was there?
Everybody knew who he was.
Gotcha.
I mean, they knew.
I'm still trying to figure out the professor who gave him a C in preaching.
Hater.
I'm trying to figure that one out. That one out. Who gave Dr. King a C in preaching? I don't know what they were thinking. What's the now let me tell you something. So when I got my of course if y'all saw Do the Right Thing, of course Spike was rocking the Jackie Robinson jersey. And you make it perfectly clear to people. Don't be walking around with no Jackie Robinson Dodgers jersey with his name on the back.
Well,
he didn't have his name on the back.
I know. But people gonna see this. People gonna see this movie who nothing about. So it was helping people who did not know Jackie.
Right.
But I knew that. I mean, I got a Jackie Robinson jersey, so I knew that.
Right. Before too. Yeah, and in fact, the Houston Astros sent me. And actually, there were several people. I saw the mayor of Houston, Sylvester Turner, and he had a 42 with his name on the back. They sent me an Astros jersey. You know, obviously, all Major League Baseball, all 42s retired across all teams, and they sent me a 42 jersey. And they put my name on it, but I won't wear it. My deal is, I told him, I said, huh?
You got a frame though, right?
Yep, I got to hang it up.
Yeah, no, you got a frame, right?
But I won't wear it. So my deal is, I'm gonna get me one, but I don't want my name on it. It's his number.
Cool.
And that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so I would hope, but you know, now look, we've been a hardcore Astros fans, Yankees fan, hardcore. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if the Astros and the Yankees face each other in the playoffs, I'm telling you right now, we gonna go to a game together. He gonna be decked in all his Yankee stuff, but I'm gonna have so much Astros blue and orange on. He gonna think I'm a Knicks fan.
What's with this train that goes in the out? What is that?
Oh, that actually that's a throwback to the Astrodome. When the Houston Astrodome, eighth one of the world, when it opened, whenever they would hit a home run, the scoreboard would light up, and they had a train that was going. So that's sort of a throwback to the Astrodome.
The first time, this is a good story.
You got to hear. Hold that mic up.
1968, the Astrodome. My father told my mother, my late mother, Spike could stay up to watch the game. UCLA.
Oh, University of Houston.
Houston.
Louis Alcindor, Elvin Hayes.
And Alcindor, he got poked earlier, so he had to play that game with one eye. And this the Cougars, right?
Yep.
They destroyed the Bruins. But they met in the semifinals. And brother Alcindor from Harlem, uptown, they did a job on it. But at that time, that was like the biggest college. It wasn't. It's still regular season. It was the biggest college game ever. And I pleaded. I said, my mother said, "You have to go to school in the morning." And my father would come out. You said, "Jim, G-E-M, Jim. He's watching game with me." I was tired in the morning at school, but I'm glad he let me. I remember that game, 68. 68. I was 11 years old.
So that had to be, was that a fall game? Was that? So if that was a regular season.
The regular season.
That had to be like September, October, November.
No, college basketball doesn't start till after like Thanksgiving.
Okay, which means that I think I was probably 2 weeks old. I was born November 14, 68.
You were.
So I was here when the game got played. Now, let me see my phone. Let me see the actual date. Let me see the actual date of this game. It's over my phone. Let me see.
I remember that game.
Let me see when that game was actually played. Let's see.
And it had like See the attendance that game. That thing was 60,000 people.
Well, that's what put in the mind of the NCAA when they decided to go to March Madness in stadiums.
Yeah.
They harken back to that. Let's see.
Yeah, don't
UCLA
get a bad
is versus
seat, but you have
Houston.
to watch the
No.
Jumbotron.
No, I wasn't even conceived yet. The game was January 20th, 1968.
Uh-huh.
My mom and daddy probably had sex on Valentine's Day.
Hey,
No.
that's enough.
No. I was born November 14th. It's literally 9 months. My brother born November 13th, 67. So both of us say we Valentine's Day babies. And his son was born November 10th.
There you go.
No, Chris, November 12th. So I'm like, yeah, y'all were having a little fun Valentine's Day too. You always wanted to do a Jackie Robinson movie.
I'll tell you the story. First of all, deep respect to our brother Chadwick. So
Yes,
this
indeed.
this is
Great brother.
this is nothing to do with him
Yep.
because I was
Yep.
he was probably still at Howard.
Yep.
In my version of Jackie Robinson, I wanted to tell a life story. I did not just want to concentrate on 1947 because I thought that I still think that he was more. That was more than
Yeah.
he had a life before 47. He lived a life after 47.
Yeah.
I really wanted to show the scope and the depth of the man, and the same reason why Malcolm X.
Right.
And that's why I got, conflict with the studio. Malcolm, he was evolving.
Yep.
And you need to show those different phases of his life.
Yeah.
You can't do that in 2 hours.
Right.
And the people dealing with Jackie Robinson, they don't want to do it, so it didn't happen.
Would you still do it today? Or is it time gone past?
I don't think it's past. Also, I wanted Denzel to play Jackie, but Denzel said he was too old at the time.
Well, see, now he would have to play the older Jackie.
Yeah.
So you would have to find a younger.
His son,
You had to.
John David. He played football at Morehouse.
I know. And that would be interesting.
Yeah.
John David as the.
I do want to. I want both of them. But they were in the film together already. Malcolm X. John David is one of those kids at the end that says, is in the classroom.
Right.
My name is Malcolm X.
Really?
That was his debut.
Wow. Did not know that.
Very few people know that.
Did not know
I would
that.
love to do something with Denzel and his son, John David.
Have you talked about it?
No.
Do I need to
John David knows about it, but not D.
Do I need to call Pauletta?
No.
That's how I get to Denzel. See,
That's the only way.
See that's why I always speak to the wives. I speak to the women. I speak to the husband because like Viola, I call Julius.
Mm-hmm.
See, other cats just like.
And how do you get in touch with Samuel Jackson?
Oh, I hit Sam, but I met his wife first. Matter of fact, I met his wife and Pauletta first, and they were like, "Oh my God, Roland, we love you." And I was like, "Well, I'm sure appreciate that." And so
You got the end.
that's right. You never could see. It's like at the Fred Gray interview. I called Fred. I left the message, and his wife. I heard the message. She said, I get all these interviews. She said, no, you doing that one. She says, you gonna do that interview, Roland Martin. And when I went down to Alabama to do it, his wife and the daughter was there watching the interview. I gave him a shout out. I was like, y'all make that happen. She's like, he doing his interview. See, so yeah, I don't ignore the wives. I don't ignore the wives or the husband. I always talk to them. You were just talking about when you mentioned Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And then I thought about you told me with Harry Belafonte when he told you, man, why you keep calling Ossie and putting him in movies? You won't never call me. And then
He says, Isaac can sit 1 hour. And then we made the call for Black Klansman. Woo! How old is Harry?
95. Turned 95 this year.
We got to give a love shout out to Rachel.
Yeah, she turned 100 last week.
Just had a birthday.
100 last week. Looking sprightly out there. Just saw her.
Just saw her.
Absolutely.
The Queen. Rachel, my grandmother lived to be 100 years old.
Wow.
She put me through Morehouse and Spelman. She put me through. No.
Yeah.
Morehouse and NYU.
No, he spoke right.
Are you trying to say that's a Freudian slip?
Probably spent more time at Spelman than at Morehouse.
No, that's not true. There's a line. What kind of TV is this? You can say
it's my show. It's called Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Well, I want to know what your
It's called Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Okay, there's a line in School Days where Jean-Carl Esposito, who plays Big Red Mighty, and I play the character Hat Pine. He says, Hat Pine, you ain't seen no paws! That was me. So don't get it twisted.
That was your part?
That was me. No parts.
So that's when you were just Spike Lee. You weren't Spike.
Well, my mother gave me that nickname.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your actual name?
Shelton Jackson Lee.
Shelton Jackson Lee.
Yes.
But your mama called you Spike.
Spike.
Where'd it come from? Why?
She said I was a tough baby.
She said you were a spike in my womb.
But those were really some of the best 4 years of my life. There were trials and tribulations, but my mother said, I'm giving Morehouse my baby, and I'm gonna get back a Morehouse man.
Send the baby, came back a man.
Yes.
And you've been running ever since.
Well, I've been blessed, but it's a lot of hard work.
Oh yeah.
But just blessed, and gotta keep going. Gotta keep it going. You know, that's what we do.
You know, the thing that
I'm not getting in trouble for that thing, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, the crew, they wanted to laugh. Was that funny?
Boy, everybody who saw School Days, we all know it's funny. We all know it's funny. Absolutely. Oh, first of all, I see the night. Okay, let me explain something, y'all. So I sit down for the interview for the cabinet, and the first thing this guy goes, "Where your Jordans?" I said, "Man, I ain't never owned no Jordans." He's like, "Oh, I gotta see you some Jordans." I was like, "Look, I got
you
10 and a half."
All right.
I said, "I got sent these shoes, and I wear them." I said, "The Texas A&M football team gave me some. They had Adidas. They gave them to me. I wear them."
Give me your address.
I said a black. I'll say it to you. We've had some black-owned athletic shoe companies on the show. They sent it to me. I wear them. I was like, "Hey, Mike ain't sent me none." I said, "I wear the shoes for free."
Don't take that. Put that on me. Don't put that on money.
No. I know. No, because when you asked me that, I was like, "Hey, Mike ain't sent me no." I said, "Nike ain't sent me no shoes." But I did win a pair of the initial Air Jordan golf shoes years ago. Mm-hmm. So I do have the Air Jordan golf shoes. Mm-hmm. Golf shoes.
You ever had Mike on your show?
I have not. Would love to do it.
You reach out to him?
I last saw him at the F1 race in Miami.
No.
We've never exchanged them. Now, he knows who I am. We've spoken everything. Mm-hmm. But I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him. Would love to. Love to. Now, I know Fred Whitfield was on his team.
Now, how's your golf game?
Well, I played yesterday, and my man Wendell Hass's Original T Golf Classic.
Yeah.
So we had a team, we shot one under, but handicap 6.5.
Can you hang with money on the golf?
Mike is probably better than me, but he played way more than me.
Plays every day.
That's my point.
On his own golf course.
Wait a minute, him and Ahmad.
Yeah.
Him and Ahmad. Ahmad did tell Ahmad we played in the Jeffrey Osborne Golf Classic, and Ahmad was like, He said, Ro, he said, if you play golf a little bit more, he said, you be dangerous. He said, where you swinging? He said, I said, but Mom, I got to work.
You don't got the time.
I said, Ahmad, I said, you 72 and retired, Ahmad. I said, I'm raised like, he said, yeah, you're right. I said, come on, you chilling every day.
You better than Barkley? I don't know. I guess that's a yes. Your swing is better than that, though, right? Ladies and gentlemen, what does that face say?
That face said, I'm about to cuss Spike Lee out. That's that face. Man, please, Barkley don't want no part.
No parts, huh?
He don't want no parts of me. I was texting Charles the other day, but Charles don't want no part of me. He don't want no. Trust me. You see my swing, you be like, yeah, that ain't Charles' swing. Matter of fact, let me go. Let me see. Who is this here? Okay, that's my brother right there. We played golf the other day. Man, let me.
You ever play golf at Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah.
What golf course?
I played.
Farm Neck?
I played Farm Neck. I played the new one all the rich folks built.
You didn't see my house?
I saw your house.
Yeah.
I saw your crib.
And what? You didn't see a flag?
I saw all that.
What flag did you see?
I saw your 40 acres in the, your embassy of Brooklyn.
No.
What flag is it?
It's the
First of all, I ain't been there in a while.
The end interlocks with the Y.
Oh, see, I ain't been there in a while. I ain't been there in a while. No, it's been a long time since I've been there. Because everybody keep telling me, they're like, man, why you come to Martha's? I said, first of all, it's too hard to get to Martha's Vineyard. That's first. Two, I ain't trying to see nobody I know. Like, if I'm on vacation, I don't want to see nobody I know.
Well, you definitely want to go to Martha's Vineyard in August.
No. I don't want to go to no fundraisers. I don't want to, don't ask me about no money. I ain't trying to do none of that. So, yeah, it's
where do you go?
Hey, Doc, so again, just so you know, Charles Barkley wishes he had this golf swing.
Oh, you left-handed, huh?
Barkley wishes he had this golf swing.
Good swing.
He ain't got that. He ain't got that.
It's windy, too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Where was that?
That was Lansdowne in Virginia.
Virginia?
Yeah, but I'm a golf the ball.
How long you been golfing?
Took as my PE at Texas A&M since 1987. One of the best decisions I ever made. You need 4 credit hours of PE. You in class. All the other players. Brothers like, man, look, I'm going to take basketball. Give me an easy grade. I'm like, hell, I've not played basketball. So my brother was here before me. He took golf. I said, I'm going to take golf too. One of the best decisions ever. That's how I connected with Sam.
Yeah.
Most cats I've connected with, it was through golf.
Mm-hmm.
It was through golf.
Sam's good golf, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sam golf his ball. Mm-hmm. When he stopped doing his own stuff and injuring himself. So we got a chance to play around together at his club in L.A. So
who else is a good golfer?
Let's see here. Man,
Ray Allen's good.
Oh, Ray Allen can play. Have not played Ray Allen. Steph and I text.
Yeah,
he can golf his ball.
Uh-huh.
Steph can golf his ball.
How's Obama?
I'll play.
How's Obama's?
Hold up. So here's the deal. I ain't never played with Obama. For 8 years, he kept saying, Roland gonna go out and play. And I'm like, bruh, 8 years.
You don't want to go to Martha's Vineyard?
No, he was playing at Andrews Air Force Base. I was like, bruh, what's up? He called everybody else, and he left-handed. I'm like, what's the deal? What's the deal, B.O.?
What'd you say about him?
Huh? Well, you know.
You forgot about that.
No, I ain't forget.
Why you say what's up then?
I ain't forget.
You know what's up.
No,
you know what's up.
No. But that's also the role I played to get him get elected. Here's what I tell everybody. This has literally been my journalistic philosophy.
This is a game plan.
If you do good, I'll talk about you. If you do bad, I'll talk about you. At the end of the day, I'm gonna talk about you. My role is not to be your cheerleader. My role is to speak truth for black people. And where I critiqued him, I went hard. And that's the deal. And so
you ever hear from him after that?
I mean, when he was in the White House, you know, they would invite me, you know, when he would do the anchor meeting and stuff like that. And I ain't never get invited to the birthday party and stuff like that. But that's fine. Because, see, my whole deal is...
You get the invite to the thing in Martha's Vineyard?
Oh, no, hell no.
Why not?
I ain't get none of that. Come on now. I ain't get none of that. I ain't get none of that. No, and I do. I really think it's because I am going to do what I do. And so here's the piece. If that means I don't get invited to stuff like that, I'm good. The role that I play as a journalist and speaking truth for Black America, it has to be said. Mm-hmm. And so that means that you're not gonna kick it with some folks. And I'm good with that. I'm cool. I mean, other people, they're like, oh my God, and I'm like, no. I'm like, nobody has to invite me to anything. Nobody has to be, if it's like, oh, so-and-so had a surprise birthday party. Roland, you didn't go? I was like, y'all. I said, I don't. I said, I got a great life. I'm good. Mm-hmm. But when that light come on and we go live, sometimes I got to hit you. And everything ain't going to be all peaches and cream. Mm-hmm. And so I hit him a few times.
The left and the right.
Left, right, with a left coming back. But
we talking Mike Tyson here?
But not Mike Tyson.
Riddick Bowe?
I mean,
Riddick Bowe?
More like Larry Holmes. Larry had a great jab. So, but that was the deal. That was a piece. Things need to be said, and I still stand on it. And my biggest deal is I feel strongly he should have appointed a black woman to the Supreme Court when he picked Merrick Garland. And I was like, and I said, and I went hard on that. And I'm like, sorry. And so people like, yo, man, why'd you go so hard? I mean, look, that's it. I mean, my deal is when you talk about legacy, I mean, look, it ain't like you being, Mr. Chill, ain't never gave your opinion on stuff. You got crossed off a whole bunch of lists. Don't even act like this is a foreign conversation. Don't even act like this is a foreign conversation.
You right.
yeah, absolutely. I'm right.
Just keep stepping, all right?
That's it.
That's stepping.
It. And when you know that you're walking in truth, when you know it's not personal, mm-hmm. it's not petty, mm-hmm. it's not envy, it's not jealousy, and you speaking truth, and some folks they disagree, we cool. We can disagree. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But I'm a swing.
Always. For the fences?
Always.
Aaron Judge?
No. No.
You fell into that one.
No, I didn't.
Who's leading Major League home runs?
No, I didn't. Josh Gibson. But I'm going to swing like Altuve. You ain't going to see it coming.
Yeah. When he got them things.
I'm gonna say it like.
Yeah, we got the thing over here with the buzz. Why stop the guy trying to tear his jersey off?
I don't know why Spike going there because
you brought it up.
We could talk about y'all letter.
What letter?
Oh, the letter Major League Baseball sent y'all that y'all went to court to keep from going public. They became public.
I never heard about this.
Okay, shall we go to? Shall we go to Google to discuss?
We're going to commercial.
We're going to commercial. Spike got to get back to the reception now. See?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a break.
With that, baby, always good to see you, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?